Well, hello, guys. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat this morning. And welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on briefly and go over some predictions, or I don't even like calling them that because I don't really have a timeline for anything that I'm going to be sharing. And so I'm just going to say intuitive feelings. I was given some information pertaining to certain world leaders who I believe are going to step down soon. Now, when I say soon, how soon? Well, I don't know. Not tomorrow, unless something happens to them for them to step down tomorrow. But it's more of in the next year, in the next 12 months. It could be much sooner than that, but I don't feel comfortable telling you a timeline in 2026. I think I've said that. Also, I want to mention that in regards to the Epstein files, if the information is not coming in and I'm not perceiving it, I'm not going to go looking for it. I don't want to go down that avenue. But as far as anything else goes with the Epstein files, your girl is not doing it. I had, this is kind of funny, but not funny. Yesterday, there was a helicopter that kept flying over my home, right, or where I live, for about 30 minutes. Of course, I know how to do the maps and flight maps, aviation, and I looked it up, and the guy was legit, and he was practicing. This was his practice target area, which is kind of weird, but anyways, whatever. I was like, this is real shit. This is how it would go down if I kept talking. And I'm sorry, but no thank you. I'm good. I'm fine. All right. So the first thing that I kept getting was the IRS. The IRS is panicking. They're in a panic mode right now. And it's because they know that he wants to get rid of the IRS, okay? And these are audit rights, by the way. He wants to completely be done with the IRS because he knows we don't need it. We don't really need it here in the United States. So that's one thing that I was getting for 2026. It would be a target plan. The other thing I have down is Qatar. I can never say that word right, country. There's a dark energy in Qatar. And I mentioned Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and a few other places a year and a half ago in regards to when I was doing a reading for Andrew, the Epstein files. It might have been a year ago. I spoke on Qatar. I said someone in the royalty would be called out and be mentioned of being on the Epstein list. Now, that hasn't happened yet. There's been connections, but there's not been an actual proof of someone conspiring or actually engaging in activities that are dark. And that's going to come out that someone, I think, engaged, not just business opportunity. Okay? And it feels to be around the royalty of the Qatar, like the families over there that are rich and into the oil business. The Cahoons who are doing really, really well. And they're in royalty. So there'll be an older man, a much older man. Well, I shouldn't say much older, but maybe in his 60s or 70s. I think that's going to happen. And also Saudi Arabia as well. And that man, Mr. Muhammad, is doing all he can to protect his family name and integrity. That's why he kind of engaged in the deep swamp. And that's what I have to say about Epstein. That's it. Not facts. Okay. Epstein was involved in more than just trafficking. I think it's fair to say we all know that. I was getting that he was connected to Bill Gates. Everybody knows that now. That's coming out. But it feels to be more connected to banking, and other nefarious acts. But anyways, banking and C19, there's a connection with that. When I get those two energies correlating, I see a box. With, let's say, chemicals are in it, or virus, germs. There's stuff inside the box, okay? There's like particles in this box. And they both release it, and the particles go everywhere in the air. And it's symbolic for virus. Okay, so I think that Gates had his hands in that. They are also involved in, Epstein is also involved into networking and intelligence. I think we know that, but that came in as well because look what's going on in Britain. That's the biggest link in Britain with Epstein is the intelligence files, I do believe. So it's in foreign countries, not just here in the States. So when I say that, Fauci connected to WHO. Epstein was very much into the virus. He was really, really into wanting to be successful. He also tried to take out Putin in 2014. Some people don't know that, but I thought I'd bring it up. That's public knowledge. I'm getting that the worst of the Epstein files has not come out yet. I said this before. There's another dump coming. But also the redacted files or version hasn't finished coming out either. But there's going to be one major load, and I don't see it coming out right now. They're still working on it. Trump's still trying to get it out, but it's coming. And it's going to expose a lot of people. And this is when things get dangerous for certain people, is when that last load comes out, which I believe a lot of people from the Middle East, royalty, and royal families around the world are going to be exposed. Because the swampy states, or swampy state, the evil ones, are trying to silence. They don't want these Epstein files coming out. They don't. So, anyways, again, this is information that's coming to me. I'm not looking for it. Okay? I'm not looking for it. Promise. I was getting something with Malaysia. The country Malaysia. I have to have Malaysia. Financial money hub or money sector. There's going to be a cahoot, a big elite over there who is into banking and financing. The Citibank is spelled C-I-T-I, that bank. Yes, Citibank. Something's going to come out about that bank, about that particular corporation, and it feels to be tied into Malaysia. I don't know how, but that's what I'm getting, and I did not do research behind it, so I'm just going to leave it there and just come on and share it, and without having to double check what I'm saying, because, well, I'm getting it for a reason. I don't know why. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. The owners of Citibank or an owner of another specific bank in Malaysia is going to fall, and the actual bank itself may cause problems for people who have shareholding in there. So the elites, certain elites in Malaysia are going down. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pause this and come back. Okay, guys, so I have returned from my appointment. Had to give blood in order to have my procedure done. Stopped off at Starbucks on the way back. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up where the paper trail leaves me, which is going to be some world leaders who are going to be stepping down. And there's quite a few of them. Between now and 2027, I don't have a timeline. I don't have a precise timeline. The leader of China is going to be forced out of power. And I believe this is going to be more near 2027, say, I'm just going to say 2027. It could be the end of December of this year, but Mr. Xi, leader of China, is not going to be in power much longer. Let's say that. The Prime Minister of England, we've already talked about him because I've covered him multiple times, is not going to be in power much longer either. Between now and the first part of 2027, he's going to be taken out of power. I saw that clearly. No astrology. This is just what I was being shown. The leader of France, Macron, is going to be removed. A lot of this feels to be towards the end of 2026 into the first part of 2027. That's the timeline, but I could be wrong. There is going to be a regime change in Iran. That's the whole plan in motion anyways. That's going to happen sooner than people expect. I'm also seeing a attack that's going to take place. The IDF, I am getting the IDF is going to go in and hit Iran. And that is going to make problems for Israel and for the United States. It's not going to be, oh, we can just go in and boom, we can just throw a bomb down on the ground and hit Iran. No, it's not going to work that way, baby. Those people are more prepared than you think. And they have minions everywhere. When the U.S. border was open, when Biden was in charge, who do you think got in here? Huh? Yeah? Who was given free cell phones? Oh, okay. Shh. We're not supposed to talk about that. I already lost one channel for being honest and being right. What else do I have down? There's going to be, Australia. If you live in Australia, I don't know much about your prime minister over there, but I am hearing the Australian government is going to shake in Australia, and the leader of Australia, the prime minister, is going to fall between now and 2027. Don't know. That's what I'm getting. God, look at all these bruises on my arms. I have low platelets, Lord, and it shows. It look like somebody beat me up. Okay. Who else do I have down here? I'm looking. Did I miss anybody? Canada. Yeah. Mr. Carney will be done. I see him volunteering. I see him just stepping down. Almost like Justin Trudeau, but Justin Trudeau was able to wear his sleeve on his arm. Carney is going to be a little more embarrassed on how this happens. I have no idea. I just share what I hear, and I can't always make sense of it. So that's what I have in this video. And I want to share one last thing before I end this video. And that is this little clip that I put out February the 8th. Actually, it would have been in the early morning hours, of February the 8th. I talk about Epstein, and I want to let you guys listen to it. And then we'll have a little talk after that. Hold on. And as things intensify and Trump feels cornered at some point, he's got a massive load of files he's going to release. It'll be the third batch. And when he releases the third batch of files, it'll be the biggest news in the history, our American history. It's all going to come out then. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I can't wait for the other ones to come out. And that might be when some of these big elites in the EU fall. It's like peeling away the layers, Around the world, Middle East. Because those documents that he releases are going to be very powerful. And again, he's going to release them when he feels cornered to do so. What is coming? I don't think it's going to happen really in 2026. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe 2027. Possibly. The end of this year, first part of 2027. We'll see. Another thing that's going to come out in those files, and this might come out before the actual big dump. So we could have some more small dumps of information regarding to the Epstein situation, but the big dump is going to be significant. But that's not going to happen yet. But these small Slavic children and women who were sold through the Epstein deal. African children and women sold. I don't know. He's a monster. A powerful one. But eventually everybody dark falls. But eventually all the darkness falls. So perhaps he's speeding up his timeline because he knows his end is coming too. But he wants to watch everybody else fall first. Okay. So, I put out that video February the 8th. I said that they would be releasing, or Trump, whoever, will be releasing another huge dump of Epstein files. And I mentioned that in this video as well. But I wanted to show you that I didn't just pick this up today. This was something I had said 4 or 5 days ago. And when it comes out, it's going to be shocking, but we are already prepared for it. We're going to see leaders over in Saudi Arabia, the United Emirates, Dubai, however you say it. Royalty. It's a lot of connection to royalty around the world. We're going to see people, maybe another person mentioned in the royal family, maybe not blood related, but someone close to the elites of the family. We have people in Norway, we have Scandinavian, northern, everywhere in Europe there's royalty. Okay, so it's going to be people on there that we don't expect to know about, learn about. Yeah, so here's my take on this. I've worked on Epstein for 2 years, off and on for 2 years, and I'm done now. That's what I want to say. I'm done now. I don't want to talk about Epstein anymore. Now, if I get something that comes in on a psychic level, I will share it, especially because I'm working with UK closely in Europe. Because why? I have loved ones in Europe. 2, I've already worked on Trump, and I've said all I can say on Trump, and I'm done. And I want to focus on where my other half is. So I'm going to do that. So this is my last official video as far as going over Epstein. The energy's dark, it's vile, it's filthy, and it makes me sick. And I have health issues. And when I get into some dark shit like this, it seems like it makes things worse. Anyways, this is what I have in this video. I hope you guys are having a great week. I will be back on at some point to do some readings. I need to look into something in regards to the UK. It's not connected to, I don't think it's connected to Epstein, but again, if I run into something that's connected to Epstein, we have to talk about it. But it's something else I want to look into. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'm sorry for the interruptions in my videos, but it's life. It's what you see here is reality. I'm in the process of trying to upgrade or move. In 2027, my goal is to get a house. Actually, I really want a house. So I'm working and really trying to get my bills paid off and things so I can go into a 3-bedroom. That's my plan. And then the 3rd bedroom, the little small room, would be my little office. That's a dream of mine. I've never owned a house, never lived in a house. I've always lived in apartments. I really want a yard of my own so I can do my little herbal garden and make a little fairy garden. And I don't know. I'm weird. I love being outdoors. I love painting rocks. I love putting my crystals out there. Calling in little sprites and little fairies. Whether you believe them or not, but yeah, I know. It's just uplifting to me in these times to be outdoors, working with beautiful colors and connecting to nature and divine at the same time. It's beautiful. Okay, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon.